The question will have a paragraph with one or two sets of bold-faced words, and the role of the bold-faced words in the argument would need to be identified. For example, this is the reasoning, and there are two sets of bold-faced words in the reasoning. The question is always this: in the argument given, the bold-faced portions play which of the following roles? And there are, of course, 5 answer choices. The correct strategy for these questions, something very, very important. Step 1. Identify the conclusion. Like in all the CR questions, identifying conclusion is very important, more so in the boldface questions. Step 2. Link the bold parts with the conclusion. Very, very important. And then step 3. Obtain a broad idea of expectation from the correct answer choice. One of the reasons why boldface questions appear to be so difficult is the vocabulary involved in the answer choices, the complexity in the language of the answer choices. If you don't have a very clear idea of what you are looking for in the answer choices, it is very natural to get confused amid the complexity. So step 1 was to identify the conclusion. Step 2, to link the bold parts with the conclusion. Step 3, have a clear idea of what you are expecting from the correct answer choice. And then step 4, as always, is to eliminate the answer choices. When you have eliminated 4 answer choices, the one that's left is the best of the lot. Application of the strategy on a live question. This is the reasoning. This is the standard question stem every time. The 2 bold-faced portions play which of the following roles? Please pause the video and read the reasoning carefully. The mind map is that GDP growth has been great. Party deserves credit. However, party has been soft on other issues and is not likely to win in the forthcoming elections. What is the conclusion? The second bold part is the conclusion, that the party is unlikely to win another term in the forthcoming elections. So the second bold part has already been linked. This itself is the conclusion of the argument. Let's connect the first bold part with the conclusion. So come to think of it, it is an event that has happened. And now the author is trying to evaluate the implications of this event. And in the process of doing that, the author ends up comparing the performance of the government in other areas and ends up concluding that the party is unlikely to win. So this is the connection, friends. Let's look at the answer choices. The first is a circumstance whose implication the argument seeks to evaluate. Perfect. The second is the main conclusion. Awesome. This is a very fine answer choice. Look at this one now. The first is a finding that the argument seeks to evaluate. All right. The second part, the second opposes the finding. The second does not say that the GDP did not grow by 15%. So the second part is not correct. Bad answer choice. Look at this one now. Many students will contemplate about this one. That the second is the main conclusion is perfectly all right. But that the first is a fact that opposes the main conclusion is not the role that the first boldface is playing in the reasoning, and this is not a good answer choice. Look at this one now. First is a finding that helps derive a conclusion. A conclusion, remember, is the intermediate conclusion, which is the case. The intermediate conclusion here is that the party must be applauded for its role. However, to say that the second is that conclusion would be incorrect. The second is the main conclusion of the reasoning. A conclusion is referring to the part that says that the party must be applauded for its role. Bad answer choice. Look at the next one now. The first is a finding that helps derive a conclusion. Yes, the intermediate conclusion we were just talking about. The second is the main conclusion. This choice may need some deliberation, but you will realize that this is also a perfectly fine answer choice. So see, there can be different answer choices correct for the same reasoning for the same boldfaces. However, on the GMAT, only one such correct answer choice would appear. Look at the next one now. Same reasoning, but the boldfaces are different. Please pause the video and link each of the boldfaces with the main conclusion of the passage. Now look at the answer choices. The first is an intermediate conclusion reached by the argument. Right. The second is an evidence that supports the main conclusion of the argument. This is perfectly all right. A good answer choice. One more. Once again, the boldfaces are different. The reasoning is the same. Please pause the video and link these boldfaces with the conclusion. The first is a consideration that supports an intermediate conclusion that the argument reaches. Consideration is a fine word for the boldface that the GDP growth is a fine indication of the economy growth of a nation, and yes, it is supporting an intermediate conclusion that the party must be applauded for its role. So first part of this answer choice is all right. Look at the second part. The second is a judgment. It's perceived softness on long-standing social and diplomatic issues. Judgment is a fine word for it. And yes, this judgment is leading to the main conclusion, that the party is unlikely to win another term in the forthcoming elections. Therefore, this is a fine answer choice. This was the concept, friends. GMAT shots are deliberately kept brief. For an elaborate explanation, please watch the Stage 1 conceptual videos in our program. Thanks for watching.